Welcome to episode 291 of the Various Sundry Podcast. I'm your host, Matt Harmon, joined live from the Vault Studio on the beautiful campus of Grace College and Grace Theological Seminary by my good friend, my colleague, my co-host, and the man who is ready to catch another plane to hit the road, John Scott Sloat.
I'm beginning to know the people at Fort Wayne International Airport.
It's a small airport.
Like, hey Bob, how's the fam?
Exactly,
This is now my life.
Yeah, for sure. Look, I love flying out of the Fort Wayne airport.
I do too.
I mean,
so much easier.
No having to get there 2 hours before your flight.
Now, I will say it's been a lot busier recently.
Has it?
In the last month or two, it has picked up significantly in traffic.
Now, I have the TSA pre-check, but I still get there an hour to an hour and 15 before, just to be on the safer side.
The longest thing I have to do when I get there is walk from the parking lot to the security line.
Yeah.
I am checking a bag today, so I have to get there a little bit earlier. So
you're checking a bag? You must have to, because you're a savvy enough traveler that you're probably not typically a bag checker.
I am not. However, I am taking a box of ballots with me and a big box of pens.
Are you a political party operative?
Well, I have to stuff these somewhere. And this is not the Prophet ballot box.
That sounds so sketch. I've got a box of ballots that
a box of ballots that's bubbling up, but no, it's for Charis Fellowship gets to cast a vote for board members, officers, things like that. So I have to take that and then return it.
And is it only who gets to vote in those? Is it pastors or just because it can't just be any old attendee? Because anybody can attend this. Any member of a Charis Fellowship could attend this conference.
Correct. It is a vote per church, so it's one member from one church. And that church must make a contribution of at least $100 to Grace that year.
I see.
So
they have to have some skin. That's not
much
skin.
That's not much skin.
That's but it is, I guess, technically skin.
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense. All right.
So and we print the churches on the ballot who have at that point given.
I see.
And there's a shame factor there as well.
And so people have to come in and say, I'm here representing, Walla Walla,
Nothing quite that formal.
Okay.
So we host a dinner every year where we do an update. We talk about what's happening on campus, exciting things. And then at some point we go, hey, on your table there's a ballot. If we need one member from your church, if you're on the list. If you're not on the list and would like to vote, you can go ahead and vote for your church, write it in, find me later, and we can talk about that. So
okay. All right.
It's a fascinating.
These are all things that faculty have no clue about.
Yes, by design.
Why by design?
So you guys can focus on writing and reading and whatever else is you guys do in the summer. Conference speaking.
Yeah, something like that. Reattaching a retina.
Yeah, reattaching a retina. How is the gas bubble, by the way? Happy birthday.
Thank you. Yeah.
It is your birthday today. As we record this Monday.
That's right.
Is the birthday.
That's right.
Are we what age range are we falling into here? Like what demographic are you a part of these days?
So I'm trying to remember the breakdowns. It's 18 to 30 like I
think it's like 34.
Okay, and then there's like 30 whatever that next one is. I forget.
35 to like 49.
Okay. Keep going.
50 to like 65.
Yeah.
I'm
on the front end of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 52.
Oh, 52. Very nice.
Yeah. Which,
you don't look 52.
Still feels young. The funny thing is,
you don't look that different than when you were my professor 15 years ago.
Well, when I first started here, now 19 years ago, hard to believe, yes. I would consistently get guessed by my age older than I was. So I was 33 when I started. And I think people just naturally
Gets
you're
older for
a
professor.
prof, so you have to be like probably closer to 40. Like that's just sort of an assumption, I think.
Absolutely.
And now I think I get guessed younger than I am.
What do people guess? 45?
I think mid to late 40s. So not like radically younger. But yeah, which I have no qualms with.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, somewhere along the way I made the pivot of being guessed older than I am to being guessed younger than I am, and that's the exact pivot that I think most people want.
That's the move you want to make.
Yeah, exactly. Though, we are starting to get solicitations in the mail for,
AARP?
Jump in on your AARP. No, not yet.
50 over 50 communities.
Yeah.
We'll mow your grass and shovel your snow. You kind of got that already,
I could have, yeah. Well, I mean, this summer I've had someone
mowing your yard,
mowing my grass because I'm not permitted to do that yet again. So
how is the gas bubble?
Gone.
So
Gone.
I mean, you're able to join me this week, and
I could fly. I am permitted now to fly.
Okay.
Yes, which is good because I have a somewhat active travel schedule this fall.
This fall?
Fall's always busy for me in terms of travel.
ETS?
I'll be in Montana for a week. I'll be in –
what's in Montana?
Remember last year I did that 1 week?
Oh, yeah.
It's Montana Wilderness School of the Bible. It's like a gap year kind of thing, like Word of Life, but out in Montana.
Sure.
And so I'll be out there in October. I'll be in Louisville for a week, which doesn't require flying, but be down there.
You could. I mean, you could fly there if you really wanted to.
I could. It would take longer than just getting in my car and going. And then I'll be in Boston for ETS.
Oh, is that where it's at this year?
It is.
Okay.
And there'll be a road trip in there also to Southern Ohio because I'm doing the fall retreat for the Ohio University Campus Crusade Ministry.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I think we have an alum on staff there. Grace has an alum on staff at OU. I think so. We'll talk after. But
okay.
I'm
interesting.
I have a name in my head.
So it's funny. There's actually that week that I'm doing that, the Wednesday before it. So that's like a Friday through Sunday thing. The Wednesday before it, I'm speaking in chapel at TED's. So it's my alumni tour that week.
Wow.
So
are you kind of the send-off for TED's?
I would not frame it like that. No. No.
Wow.
They are doing a Grace alum is on faculty there and and has invited me to be a part of their fall series.
Nice.
So I'm going to go up there. So yeah, Wheaton College alumni folks, if you'd like to get in on the alumni tour, you can reach out to me. In fact, if you'd like to contact the show, you can find us on X at VNS Pod.
We would love to have a member of Wheaton on the show.
You can email the show at variousandsunderpodcast@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook and on YouTube, and we would love for you to leave a 5-star rating for us. We would appreciate that very much. Yeah.
Great.
So, yeah, the alumni tour.
Man.
Coming this fall.
You transitioned that well.
I tried, My education at Ohio University.
Wow.
Their excellent broadcasting program.
Yeah.
Has served me well.
What town in Ohio is that?
Athens.
Okay.
It is a gorgeous college town. I mean, Ohio University is the oldest university outside of outside of the 13 colonies. I think it was and so I mean it's classic brick, beautiful, set into the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains. It is picturesque. I mean, we have a beautiful campus here at Grace. We really do. But it's pretty flat,
Yeah, there's a hill.
Hill, yes. It is really a pretty campus here. But set into the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains and classic brick, like classic university look from early 1800s kind of thing.
Nice.
Beautiful. Nice.
Nice.
All right, John, let's talk a little sports.
Okay.
So we have some Jets news here.
Yeah. From I guess what are we at, OTAs now?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, OTAs.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I always think of my birthday as really the end of the summer. Because once my birthday hits, I think school's right around the corner.
It's right there.
But one good thing about that is I think football's right around the corner.
Yes.
You're starting to get the ramp up.
Well, and so we always have the church picnic, or we used to have food truck Sunday. I think it became too expensive.
And now we're back to the church picnic. I think.
Yeah, that's always the first Sunday of the NFL season, almost without fail.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
And I always go, goodness, I wish this wasn't the first Sunday of NFL. I wish it was a week prior because I probably would stay longer.
Well, but usually it's the Sunday after Labor Day weekend.
Is that always
I think so.
The deciding point?
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, so football's approaching. You got the OTAs.
Yeah, I don't think they're in training camp yet. I think it's
right.
OTAs.
I think that's right. So there's been some news from Jets camp.
Yeah, Garrett Wilson signed a new deal. Sauce Gardner also signed a new deal. So they are both off their rookie contracts now and will be Jets for the foreseeable future.
And making good money.
And making good money, as they should, right?
They've earned it.
I'd prefer to get those deals done now than, well, they're free agents. Will they come back? Won't they come back? I'd rather get them done now.
Agreed. But there was also some other news from Jets camp that was less good news.
Well, I mean, I think it was a bit of a firestorm. So it was reported that Justin Fields, the new Jets quarterback and former Ohio State quarterback, I guess alum, not former, right? He's an Ohio State alum.
Well, we don't know if he graduated, but I think we've had this conversation about what do you have to do to count as an alum. Yeah,
we count alums as anybody that has 3 credit hours at Grace. So,
I'm confident Justin had more than 3 hours at Ohio State.
We don't know that, but we're fairly certain.
He didn't play for the team up north, John.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. So he went down, sort of a non-contact injury, fell to the ground, and beat writers. It's New York. It's a bit of a mayhem.
Yeah,
started diagnosing.
Of course,
and
Adam Schefter
reported
that
he had an Achilles tear.
Yeah,
I think
turned out
not to be true. He dislocated a toe.
Painful.
Absolutely. I have sympathy for him.
Yeah. Like, no shade being thrown at him for dropping to the ground, dislocating a toe.
Yeah, but they relocated it.
Which is an odd thing to say, right? Like, relocate seems to seem like, well, I guess technically they did move it from one position to the correct position.
To the proper position. Yes, they didn't locate it, right? It's not like they lost the toe.
Exactly.
They just had to relocate it.
That would be a much more significant injury.
That would be where you might miss some time for that. But he was back out the next day.
Yeah.
Playing. So yes, you did text me in a bit of a panic.
Well, I think I'm on record here, John, as saying it sure feels like when Ohio State guys go to the Jets, they get ruined.
So, Garrett
Wilson is
the exception.
An exception.
Nick Mangold.
He had a long, healthy career for the Jets at center. Yeah.
I know that's a feeling among you as an Ohio State fan and a few of our listeners as Ohio State fans.
Okay.
Is this a broad feeling? And now I need you to sequester that group. Is that a broad feeling among the fan base that, like, anytime any Ohio State player goes to the Jets, they're ruined? Or is it because of your relationship with me, our friends?
I feel like I see little bits of that on Ohio State.
Okay.
Of the when Ohio State players go to the Jets, it doesn't tend to work out
most of the time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, Garrett Wilson's been an exception. I think the jury's still out on Jeremy Ruckert. He's been but he was also not like this super high-profile Ohio State guy. But
the reports have not been great out of training camp for him.
And, again, in fairness, it's hard to know the mix sometimes of how much is on the player, how much is on the organization, how
Sure.
much is on the coaching. I mean, I had the same feeling with when Justin Fields was drafted by the Bears. I was like, great. There goes his chance of being a top 10 NFL quarterback, because there's no chance the Bears are going to develop him.
Yeah.
They just routinely ruin quarterbacks.
Yep.
And I mean, I've seen enough film breakdowns from even like people who follow the Bears of him regressing during his time there in certain ways because because of how he was coached.
Yeah.
And that's frustrating, because I think he has the tools to be a top 10-ish, top 12 quarterback, certainly a top half. I mean, there's 32 teams. He is certainly capable of being in the top half of starting quarterbacks, given his talent.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway.
So there's a bit of a scare.
A bit of a scare, yeah. Yeah.
So I'm really hopeful for him in this season. Like I thought they have a good offensive line, young, athletic.
Yep.
The plan is to run the ball a lot.
Yeah.
And ask him to do less than, say, we were asking Aaron Rodgers to do.
Yes. And I think that's a potential recipe for his success. Like I think he will be best served by, doing a lot of stuff on play action.
Yep.
Having options where he can run the ball, that sort of thing. And
rolling outside the pocket, I think he's pretty good on the run.
But I would not think expecting him to drop back and pass 40 times in a game is probably going to be your best recipe.
Yeah. I think finding unique ways to get Garrett Wilson the ball, finding unique ways to get their dynamic running backs the ball in unique situations in space, and I think having a mobile quarterback will very much help those things.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Aaron Rodgers was in his prime was very mobile, not in the same way Justin Fields is, more in the avoiding contact in the pocket kind of thing, not like, he could break off a 50-yard run if you give him a seam to take off. That's what Justin Fields is. But,
yes.
Yeah. So football is in an episode to come, we will obviously do our preseason expectations for our respective teams.
The Jets are always so hard.
Well, I mean, last year was so it was 2 years ago, I should say. 2 years ago.
Yeah, with the Achilles.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know that you had ever been more hopeful about a Jets team since I've known you.
Probably.
Maybe back to maybe to this Mark Sanchez era.
2009, yeah.
I mean, when the
I was
year
in
after they made the AFC Championship.
And then they went back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, I mean, at some point, they have to make the play.
That was my senior year of college.
Well,
I mean, you barely knew me at that point.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. Anything you want to say on the Mets real quick before we transition?
7-game winning streak right now. So we just swept the Giants in San Francisco, and we go to San Diego today.
Okay.
So 4 games, San Diego.
Okay. The Padres are pretty good, are they not?
Padres are good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Padres are good. We're first in the NL East again, so
all right,
making our way.
There you go.
Trade deadline is this week, next week, something like that.
Do you expect the Mets to make a move?
So we went out and got a relief pitcher already. We got Gregory Soto, who I think there was 99, something like that. So we're just collecting all the Sotos.
All the Sotos, yeah.
Beyond that, I think it's probably the relief market. There's talks of us getting a center fielder. I don't think we'll get a center fielder. There's talks of us getting a starting pitcher. I don't think we'll get a starting pitcher. I think it'll be on the relief market if we do anything at all. Our young players are starting to hit, which is very exciting.
Yeah.
Ronnie Mauricio put one in McCovey Cove last night, and that was a lot of fun to watch.
That is a neat feature of the San Francisco ballpark there, how it's that close to the water and you got people out there in boats and canoes and
yes, ready to get the balls.
Yeah. That's a nice little unique feature there. All right, John, let's move on to our main topic for today.
Did you want to do anything on Ohio State? You have Ohio State here in the rundown.
No, I'm fine. And
all right. We can punt to stick with football.
Yeah. Well done.
Thank you.
Well done. We'll punt. I mean, There's really not much. I mean, there's not much going on. They haven't started preseason training camp yet.
Okay.
So last week I think I mentioned after in the lead up to Scottie Scheffler winning the British Open, he had been asked about what it would mean to win the British Open, and he gave us a very sort of philosophical answer, a sort of it would be great and you enjoy it for like 2 minutes and then you kind of move on. And he kind of unpacked that as essentially there are more important things in life to me.
This is not the most important thing in my life, right? He's got his family, faith.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then, of course, after he wins it, someone, of course, British media kind of cheekily asked him, so did you enjoy it for more than 2 minutes? Mm-hmm. And so he kind of laughed, and he's like, well, I want to be clear. Like, this is a big deal. I enjoyed it. I've
worked hard to get here.
Yeah, I've worked hard. If it was meaningless to me, I wouldn't invest all of this time in actually, being capable of winning this. Nobody at that level just rolls out of bed and is that good.
Yeah.
I mean, he's on a historic run that is essentially on the level of a Tiger Woods-ish kind of run in terms of success over a period of time. Now, he's not Tiger Woods yet, but he's having a run that is, in that conversation. Mm-hmm. And so I thought it would be good for us to talk a little bit about the bigger picture issue of finding your identity in your work, mm-hmm. your identity and your hope in your work. And, we will have a link in the show notes to an article that Gospel Coalition did about this that we're not really discussing it, but it's sort of as a launch pad, I suppose, at some level. But so I'll start with you. Why do you think that's such a temptation to find your identity or your hope for, what are you looking forward to? What are you going to find joy in, ultimate joy in? Mm-hmm. And people think, well, if I have this kind of success in my work or my career or something like that.
Like how do I view this?
Well, why
do I think people act this way?
Yes.
I think they're wired. I think they're hardwired to find meaning and purpose and hope and fulfillment. I'm virtually talking all about the same thing, but mm-hmm. fill in the blank. They are looking for that from someone, something, mm-hmm. and it's a need that must be filled. Okay.
So why do you think – I think this is true especially for men, though not unique to men.
Yeah.
Why do you think – men in particular seem to be seem to struggle with this more, maybe, or more prone to finding their identity in their work?
Well, I think they tend to find it more in their work. I think, generally speaking, not women tend to find it more in relationships. In interpersonal relationships, finding that meaning, finding that purpose. Mm-hmm. Men are more finding it in what they accomplish, what they can do, and so why? I think men are just a little hardwired that way to go out and do things, and whether it's the ancient world conquering or ruling in the modern world, we sort of do those things through our careers, through our work.
Yeah, I do think it is, and this is why I think it's tricky, is that it is part of how we're wired, but of course sin has warped it. Meaning, I think if you look at Genesis and the so-called creation mandate, right? God creates human beings in His image, mm-hmm. and so there's lots of different ways to talk about that. But I know when I teach on this, 3 R's of being made in the image of God.
Yeah.
We resemble him. We're like him. Like we have characteristics like God.
Mm-hmm.
We're relational. We're capable of speaking and designing things, and like there are things that we are like God. Resemble, represent.
Mm-hmm.
We are created to advance God's purposes in the world, act as his representatives, to mediate his presence in essence. And then third, to rule. And in fact, when you think about Genesis 1, the emphasis kind of falls more on that in Genesis 1, when after God makes human beings in his image, he says, be fruitful, multiply, and fill the earth. Rule over and subdue it.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's very active. That's doing things. And so what I think that tells you is there is a sense in which our identity is connected to what we are called and created to do. Like it's not
100%.
It's not that they are completely separate.
Mm-hmm.
They are connected. The issue is that because of course sin enters the world, it gets warped. It gets twisted.
The loves get reordered if we go to Augustine.
Yeah. And so it's understandable why human beings, if you reject God, if you put yourself in the position of God, that you are going to be tempted to find ultimate meaning and purpose in something you do. And I think that perhaps men are more prone to this, and I might put a tweak on. I feel like I've observed this phenomena in women, in that some women, I think, who don't work outside the home and have spent their almost their entire marriage raising kids, like being at home with the kids, making sure the kids are taken care of and that sort of thing. And then the kids go off to college, or eventually, they end up
moving away.
Yeah. And I think women can struggle in those contexts perhaps more than men, because so much of that woman's identity
is tied
into I have been caring for this kid. I mean, I started with wiping this child's rear end.
It started before that.
Well, yes, but carrying it. But yes,
sure.
From day one, I have been, invested in this. And now this child, I think depending on how that relationship goes, and even how the mind of a mom works, that the mom can feel like, and now they don't need me. Like my whole much of my identity has been tied to, I'm the one making sure the kid is fed and gets to school, or homeschooling them, or whatever. And now the kid goes off to college and they come back and they're not really that interested necessarily in hanging out with mom, or they don't like being mothered. And then eventually, they establish their own home. And even then, even if there's still a good relationship there, I think that can be a challenge, I think, for some women whose identity has been so tied to, I am the mom of these kids.
Yep.
And now these kids don't need the same level of my active involvement in their life as they did. And so I think that's one area where there can be, I think, a tendency for some women to not necessarily find their identity in, well, I'm an accountant, or, I'm a teacher, or whatever. It's, I'm a mom.
Yeah.
And they still are a mom, but the nature of that relationship looks very different.
Yeah.
Back
to your point about this being sort of that ruling point, right? This is part of our design. I think we see that particularly like when people retire.
Yes.
Right? And they don't have a good plan for retirement, like what they're going to do. Their plan is to do nothing.
Yes.
and they just sort of wither away, right? They've lacked this value or this purpose. They've lacked this not ability, but desire to do things.
Yeah.
And I think you just see like, oh, you actually need this,
Yes.
and that's. I think some of the stuff about AI is overblown.
Yeah.
But the idea of like, oh, there's going to be mass layoffs and people aren't going to have to work anymore and all these things. And I just go, I don't think you're answering. You don't understand anthropology if that's your sense. You don't understand what humans need.
Yes.
Humans need work at some level. It's part of their design. It's part of the way they function.
Yeah. I mean, I remember my grandfather, he was he moved buildings for
I was going to say, is this the building mover?
Yeah. I mean, you want to talk about hard manual labor.
Yeah.
And basically, like his dad before him started the business. And so, I mean, he was working for his dad when he was like, 14 or whatever.
Yeah,
probably even before that. Back then, the labor laws, especially if it's like your family business, were maybe not quite as stringent as they would.
They're not as robust as they are today.
Yeah. So, let's say he started at 15. Well, my grandfather died at the age of, he would have been 90. Yeah. And my goodness, he did not know how to do anything but work. Now, he would occasionally, especially when he was younger, but he would, take trips up to Canada to go hunting and fishing and that kind of thing. So it wasn't like he never took vacations or anything.
Sure.
But even as he got older and older, like he had, he was passing off more of some of the harder manual labor stuff to people that worked for him. But it was clear, like, when he gets to the point where he can't work, I don't know how much longer he's going to live.
Yeah.
Because it was so ingrained in him, like, well, this is what I do. And if I can't do that anymore, then I don't know who I am or what I spend my time doing.
You see this with football coaches too, right? Long-time football coaches stop coaching, and almost inevitably, like within a year, they pass away.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that that's a reflection of – it can be a reflection of disordered loves and priorities.
It can be, yes.
Not
it can be.
Always.
Totally.
But I think that's even where, you think of conversations about how our culture views retirement. I think that can be tied to this as well. That people who retire from whatever job, that if they don't have something that provides them with some measure of purpose, that sometimes you'll see people retire and then pick up a job where it's like if they thought, this is going to be great, I don't have any responsibilities. If I want to play 18 holes of golf 5 days a week, I can do that.
Yes.
And they do that for like 3 months. And they're like, well, this isn't fulfilling.
Yeah.
This isn't satisfying.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nice not to have to go to that job, but like this isn't giving me any sort of purpose. And I think when it comes to, and this is where I'll circle it back to Scotty Scheffler, is our culture doesn't really have a category for athletes who don't find ultimate purpose in being the greatest at their sport, or they struggle to have categories, especially when an athlete is at the top of that sport. Everybody admired Michael Jordan because he was the hardest worker, the most competitive, and obviously freakishly talented. But like when you have conversations about who is the greatest, one of the constant arguments that's brought up to say, well, MJ was the greatest, is his competitive drive. He was determined to be the best.
Yeah.
And when he could no longer play, it's interesting. He's struggled to make that transition, I think, into post-playing phase of his life.
Wright Thompson's book.
Yeah.
I think I've brought this up a number of times.
Yeah.
But Wright Thompson's book, The Cost of These Dreams. What did it cost these individuals to get to where they are?
Yeah.
And Michael Jordan's chapter 1. Tiger Woods is the last chapter.
Yeah.
And Michael Jordan's chapter, I think the introduction to Michael Jordan says something to the effect of Michael Jordan created a version of himself that was perfect for the first 40 years of his life, but unable to enjoy the last 40.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
And that's wild to me. That
Yes.
in the chapter on Tiger Woods, I saw an interview with the author, and they asked him, so Tiger refused to sit down and talk to you for this book. If you could ask him one question, what would it be? And he goes, "Do you enjoy golf?"
Yeah.
And he said, "What do you think his answer would be?" He goes, "I think he enjoys it more now than he did. I think his dad enjoyed golf, and he would do anything he wanted to please his dad."
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably fair.
Which is tough, which is hard. I mean, these guys are at the top of their game and have all the accolades, and kids want to grow up to be them, but they're not flourishing humans.
Right.
Many of them are really, really struggling.
Yes.
And I do think it spills over into other work cultures. Like we want to take that mentality with us into whether we go into finance, whether we go into pastoral ministry, whether we go into and we take that sort of just like I need to be the best at X thing.
Yes.
Sorry, I can't say that anymore. They used to imply a math equation. Now it's a social media thing. So I need to be best at Y.
Yeah.
And you see there's a reason, they talk about these finance guys on Wall Street sleeping in their offices.
Yeah.
Or a good friend of mine who graduated from here at Grace, got on with a big New York City law firm. And in the orientation, they said, "Hey, don't own pets. We don't want you to have to go home."
Yeah.
That's problematic.
Yes.
That's an unhealthy work culture.
Yes.
That's a group of people that find way too much value in their work.
Yes. Two things I want to make sure we mention before we wrap this up. The first is I think from my own experience, I think it is challenging to distinguish or hit the sweet spot, I should say, of pursuing excellence without trying to find ultimate meaning and purpose in whatever you're pursuing excellence in.
Mm-hmm.
I think that can be a tricky path to navigate there. Because by definition, if you're pursuing excellence, you're putting in maximum effort, and that sort of thing. And anything that you start to put that kind of effort into is easily twisted into something that you're seeking to find ultimate meaning and purpose in. The second thing I want to make sure we mention is I think, and I know some people might roll their eyes at this, but I'm like, this is why getting educated at a Christian liberal arts institution like Grace matters. Because we want to obviously give students the skills they need to do well in their chosen career path. Absolutely.
Yeah.
We want them to be excellent. That's what we try to help them, but we're more than that. We want to give them a framework for doing that to the glory of God, to advance God's purposes, and to not find their ultimate meaning in that. And I think if you have an institution that is just, well, we're going to prepare you for the workforce. You're going to give you the job skills you need to get out there and crush it in the marketplace. I think you're just feeding some form of idolatry there.
Yeah. Yeah, and I would say if you're past the point where you're no longer able to go to college, or you already went to college and this is a struggle for you, some of the best things you could do is be in a good local church.
Yes.
Be under good preaching and teaching, hearing from the scriptures, and talking to others in that church about your work.
Sure.
And really we're talking about like sort of the nuts and bolts of abiding in Christ, right?
Yeah.
You know, be in a local church, be reading your Bible, be reading it to change, not to finish, right?
Yep.
And then finally spending a ton of time communing with God in prayer.
Yes.
And that's very, very hard to
And
do those three things.
Yes. And I also think pastors can help by, when appropriate, making application towards this in sermons.
Yeah.
To help people realize that your ultimate purpose is not success in your career, and that's an empty pursuit. It won't deliver. It overpromises and underdelivers.
Yeah. Have a good theology of work that
Yes.
works its way into sermons occasionally.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, our summer read this year was Keller on the Christian Life, and there's a whole chapter in there
Yeah.
on work, and I think it's excellent. So Matt
Yes.
Smethurst did a nice job of summarizing what Keller said that's helpful, and he makes a lot of points about this sort of like not trying to find ultimate purpose, and obviously in his context he was serving for a long period of time in New York City, the place where people go to hit the big time,
Yeah.
like
If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's part of that larger ethos and culture of that specific city is a built-in form of idolatry.
Absolutely.
Essentially. And that's not a knock on New York City. Other places have other forms of idolatry built into their cultures. So,
Sure.
but all right. So there will be a link in the article, in the show notes to the article. But really,
I don't even think we mentioned the article. There was an article in the Gospel Coalition about Scotty Scheffler.
I did. I mentioned it at the beginning.
Did you?
Very
Okay.
briefly.
I missed
Very
it.
briefly. No. But yes, I mean, again, I think it's just a good reminder that all of us can be tempted in whatever area God has called us to
Yeah.
find ultimate meaning in our work, and it's not designed for that.
Yep.
All right, time now for This Day in Sports History.
All right, this day in sports history, the day after Matt's birthday, 1751, the day after Matt's birthday, first international world title prize fight, Jack Stack,
What a name.
that's a great name, of England defeats challenger, is that M. Petit of
Sure.
France,
Sure.
in 29 minutes.
Now, see, I'm curious about the 29 minutes. Like, was that like 29 consecutive minutes where they're just like, you guys fight it out?
Yeah, I don't know.
Or was there rounds? Like, that seems like the way they frame it, it's like
No, they just went at it for
they just
29
went at it
minutes.
for 29 minutes and beat the snot out of each other. I do think that might be the earliest. Have we had one earlier than 1751?
Feels like there might have been an Athens Olympic Games before that.
Well, that would have been like late 1800s. So anyway, we're in the conversation for sure.
1928, day after Matt's birthday, Cleveland Indians score 17, I assume runs,
Yes.
in the first two innings to defeat the New York Yankees 24-6 at Dunn Field, setting a record with 24 singles in a game.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of singles. You would expect a couple homers in there, a couple of walks, grand slams, but all singles, or a lot of singles. 1951, day after Matt's birthday, 38th Tour de France, won by Hugo Koblet of Switzerland.
Maybe Koblet.
Koblet of Switzerland. I definitely got Switzerland.
Yes.
1974, day after Matt's birthday, MLB, St. Louis Cardinals, Lou Brock steals his 700th base.
So is base stealing?
Oh, it's back.
It's back. Okay. So how many? Like, who's probably going to lead the league in steals?
Let me see. Let's do some.
And what ballpark number are they going to have for a year? Like, are they going to steal 50 bases?
Yes.
Because for a while there, the stolen base was out of favor.
Yes, because, well, for a number of reasons. You sort of had the true outcomes, right? Strikeout, home run. And the stolen base came back as they deadened the ball a little bit, although they would never
Admit that.
They would never admit that. Ellie De La Cruz led the league in 2024 with 67 stolen bases.
Okay.
Shohei Ohtani had 59.
But it seems unreasonable to think that, or unrealistic, that someone's going to catch like Ricky Henderson or even Lou Brock here at 700 for a career.
Probably. It's probably, if somebody's it's going to be a speed demon who's very, very young that's going to be playing every single day and talks about himself in the third person.
Like Ricky.
Jazz Chisholm had 40. There's a guy with 37. Corbin Carroll had 35. I mean, so the number definitely ticked up significantly.
Yeah.
I want to say a couple years ago, Ronald Acuna Jr. for the Braves had like 75 or 80. He would be the one that could get there, but he keeps blowing out his knee.
Yeah.
Which is a problem.
Yeah, that's really a problem for a base stealer.
Yeah. So that was 1974.
Yeah.
1992, day after Matt's birthday, Arkadiusz Skarpazek of Poland defeats Hungarian Attila Miser by 113 points to win the pentathlon gold medal at the Barcelona Olympics. Poland also wins the team gold.
Polish names are really hard.
Yes.
Because they put so many consonants together that don't sound like. For those of us who grew up with the whole like phonetic approach to learning to read, that doesn't work with Polish names.
Which is making a comeback now, by the way.
Praise the Lord.
Yes. I just listened to a podcast about that. Anyway, yes, the Barcelona games.
Yep.
I always see 92 Olympics and I think Dream Team. That's the only thing that comes into my head. 2021, day after Matt's birthday, Russian backstroke swimmer Evgeny Rylov wraps up the 100 and 200 meter double with an Olympic record. Goodness, what is that? 1 minute 53 seconds in the longer event at the Tokyo Games.
Yep.
Wraps up gold, I imagine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Probably was doping. He's Russian, right? But
yeah,
is what it is.
Well, were they not allowed?
This
that
is
was
when
that
they would
weird. Like they could compete as individuals,
but not as Russians.
Not as a
yeah.
team. Yeah. Whatever that means.
Yeah, that seemed to me that meant nothing to me other than they didn't put their flag on the broadcast or they didn't play the national anthem, which I'm sure upset.
Talk about a distinction without a difference.
Yeah, I'm sure that upset Vladimir.
Probably. Maybe that's why he invaded Ukraine.
Maybe
ticked about that. Who knows?
He's ticked about a lot of things.
He is. Who do you like?
Oh, well, it's your birthday. Why don't you pick?
I like Jack Stack.
Jack Stack.
Great name.
And Jack Stack won that fight, correct?
He did, yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, Jack Stack. Let's do that.
Jack Stack.
One thing you liked?
This morning.
Wow.
Yeah, this is fresh. On the morning of your birthday. I gave a devotional to the counseling cohort that's in town. I was invited in, got to speak on work and abiding in Christ and those topics to them. And so there was 130 people there, even quoted Frozen at one point. So it was a good time.
Very nice. Very nice. All right. I'm going to go with my birthday celebration from this weekend. It was good to have the kids around.
I saw John at church.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so John came up, and then, of course, Jake and Autumn were around. So Saturday we had a festive birthday meal.
What'd you have?
A cheese-stuffed, bacon-wrapped meatloaf.
Has Autumn taken to the meatloaf?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was made in the shape of the number 52 because my wife likes to make shapes with the meatloaf, at which I promptly spun it upside down so it looks like 25.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah.
And what other food was present?
A nice hash brown casserole went with that, some asparagus.
Is that the plural of asparagus?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And then for dessert, for the cake, a Reese's peanut butter cup chocolate cheesecake that my wife makes.
That sounds great.
Yeah. Amazing. Amazing. Yep. And then, of course, there were gifts, and we played some games. So that was nice.
Nice.
So, yeah, that is my one thing I liked. All right, John, we have talked about your JETS, Jets. We have talked about finding your identity and hope in your work. We have talked about Jack Stack.
Jack Stack, baby.
We have talked about your devotional with the counseling program. And we talked about my birthday celebration. And so I think, by definition, we have covered our various and sundry topics. And so all that's left to say is, until next time, the Lord bless y'all real good.
Later.